Hello, lads and lasses. Hey, if you like today's lesson, then please convince Idaho to secede from the Union and become an independent country populated only by artists and art lovers, as this would really help spread the good word of my class. All right, so today's video, or this video, is meant to be a reference only. This is not a lesson or anything. So, and I think I still haven't finished editing this video, but I think it's going to be about an hour and 45 minutes long. And I am not expecting you to watch it all. What this is me showing you how to color or how to make different colors with colored pencil. So uh, I'll show you how to make yellow in color pencil and yellow green and whatever. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a timestamp of each color so you can go directly to that color. So if you only need to learn how to make purple, then you'll be able to go directly to that part of the video and see how I make purple, and then you can learn how to make purple and do that. So once again, you're not watching the whole video, you're just using it as a reference. And I'll post the recipes for these colors in Schoology as well. So we're going to go around the color wheel, and I'm just going to go ahead and begin with yellow. So let's do yellow. All right, so for yellow, we are going to need yellow, orange, poppy red, and Tuscan red. All right, and then let's zoom in so we can see what is happening here. And let me lock in the, all right, there we go. I'm going to do a light layer, excuse me, a light layer of yellow over the whole thing. All right, light layer, light layer, light layer, light layer. All right, and in a lot of these, I'm not going to speed it up so you guys can see how this works, but then I'm going to use orange. Maybe I will speed it up, I don't know. All right, and I'm easing up off my pressure as I go towards the middle, and do the same thing on this other side. I'm going to push down a little bit harder on the outside and ease up off my pressure as I go towards the inside. All right. I'm going to use my poppy red, and I'm going to do the same thing that I just did, only about half the distance. Poppy red comes out here. Poppy red. Poppy red. All right. Poppy red. And then I will use my Tuscan red. Tuscan, Tuscan, Tuscan. Light pressure, and I ease up off the pressure. And the Tuscan red is just for making things dark around the outsides. Easing up off the pressure. All right, I've just finished my first layer. Now I'm going to do my second layer, and I'm going to do the exact same thing that I just did before, only this time I'm using a heavier pressure over everything. So my yellow goes over the whole section. Yellow, 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 yellow. I'm using a medium pressure. Yellow over the whole thing. All right, and then I'm going to come in with my orange from the outside. Orange. And ease up off the pressure as I go towards the middle. Heavier on the outside, lighter on the inside, heavier on the outside, and ease up off the pressure as I go in towards the middle. I want to keep that middle nice and yellow. This outside is going to have a variety of different colors mixed on top of it. All right, now I'm bringing in my poppy red, and I'm doing the same thing that I just did with the orange, only I'm using half the distance. So the poppy red kind of stays on the edges. Poppy red, poppy red, poppy red. All right, and then the Tuscan red on the outside, and I ease up off the pressure. I ease up off the pressure. And then for my final layer, I'm just going to push down really hard with my yellow. And I'm using a lot of pressure. I want to fill in all the spaces on the paper where the paper is showing through the colors. All right. All right, pushing down hard, using a lot of pressure. Probably going to use up a lot of the colored pencil. That's okay. It's for educational purposes, and it's for art purposes. That's okay. All right. All right, and that looks pretty good. And I think I just need a little bit more orange to come in from the side. So I pushed pretty hard with orange over here. And I'm just going to ease up off the pressure over here. And I push down pretty hard. And I'm going to ease up off the pressure as I come in a little bit. Easing off the pressure, easing off the pressure. And then I'll do yellow, heavy layer of yellow on top of that. And you just go back and forth until you get your desired effect. All right, so the colors that we used were canary yellow, we used orange, we used poppy red, and we used Tuscan red. All right, and then we did kind of 3 layers. All right, so our first layer was light. Our second layer was medium. And our third layer was heavy. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then we added, all right, so then our final, all right, let's do finish up. All right. And then we added orange, red, and yellow to taste. All right, so I saw that at the end it was a little bit too yellow, so then I added a little bit of orange in there. All right, so that is yellow. All right, we're going to do yellow-green next. All right, so we're going to need yellow, and we're going to need apple green. All right, apple green looks like yellow green already, and we're going to need grass green. That's this one right here. And we are going to need dark green and indigo blue. Canary yellow or canary yellow. Apple yellow, apple green, apple green. Grass green. Dark green. And indigo blue. All right, we're going to have like 3 or so layers. All right, this is how we're going to do it. Let's zoom in and away we go. A light layer of yellow over the whole thing. Light yellow, light yellow, light yellow, light yellow, light yellow, light yellow. All right. And then that apple green is going to come in from the sides. All right, I'm going to ease up off the pressure. Whoops. All right. Ease up off the pressure as I come in. Easing up off the pressure. Heavier pressure around the outsides, lighter pressure towards the middle. And easing up off the pressure as I go in towards the middle. In fact, since this is yellow-green, I'm going to do a very light layer of the apple green over the whole thing. Very light. All right. But it goes a little bit heavier when I go out here. All right, then I'm going to use my grass green. And my grass green just comes up a little bit. And grass green over here. Heavier on the outside, and I ease up off the pressure as I come in towards the middle. Dark green makes things darker on the outside and easing up off the pressure. And dark green. And then an indigo blue just on the outside. Easing up off the pressure as I come in the middle. And indigo blue, hardly even notice it, but it's important. It needs to be here. All right, then I'm going to do a heavier pressure of yellow over the whole thing. Heavier pressure of yellow, kind of like a medium pressure. Heavier pressure is medium pressure, medium pressure, medium pressure, medium pressure over the whole thing. And I'm going to come in with my apple green. And first of all, I'm going to do a very light Very, very light pressure of the apple green. And then I'm going to do heavier on the outside. Heavier on the outside, lighter in the middle, ease up. I want to make it light in the middle. It's kind of looking like a lime color, isn't it? All right, heavier pressure along the outside, lighter pressure as I come in towards the middle. All right, and my grass green, ease up, and I do my grass green about half the distance of that apple green. Grass green, right there. All right, there's my grass green. Dark green makes things dark on the outside. Just a little bit though. Make some change there. Don't want it to look all stripy. Remember, stripe or no striping. And ease up off the pressure. And then just a little bit of indigo on the outsides. Just a little bit of indigo. And then for my final layer, I'm going to do a heavy layer of yellow. I'm going to push really hard with that yellow. All right, and that's looking a little bit too yellow for me. So I'm going to make a change here in a second. I'm going to do a light layer of apple green on top of all that. Just a very light layer of apple green. And then a heavy layer of yellow over the whole thing. Yellow, 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 yellow. Yellow, 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 yellow. All right, I'm going to come in with my grass green or along from the outsides and ease up off the pressure as I go in. And grass green from the outside and easing up off the pressure as I go in. And I'll do another heavy layer of yellow on top of that to mix that all in. And I think I have a pretty good yellow green. I'm satisfied with it, right? So there's my yellow green. All right, so I'm going to move on to green. Whoa, right. Green. Green color. All right, so we are going to need true green. We're going to need grass green. We're going to need dark green. We're going to need indigo blue. And we're going to need white. Those are the colors that we're going to need. And grass green. Dark green. And we're going to need indigo blue. And white. All right, for our layers, first layer is going to be light. Our second layer is going to be medium, but all right, the first layer is going to have no white. No white. Second layer is going to be white in the middle. And then no green in the middle. Third layer is going to be heavy. And it's going to be like second layer. And then we're going to finish off we're going to add grass green or white as needed. All right, so let's get into this. Let's zoom in. All right, so let's start with the lightest color first. And we are going to very lightly color in the whole thing with true green. True green is our lightest color. It's kind of like a mint color, like mint chocolate chip ice cream. That's so delicious. All right, there's our mint. And then we're going to come in with green from the sides. So, and that green slowly disappears into the true green. Grass green is darker on the outsides and slowly disappears into the true green. Dark green is along the outsides. So ease up off the dark green, and dark green is along the outsides. Ease up off the dark green. And then indigo blue is just on the very edges. And then ease up off almost immediately. We don't want any striping. Okay, for our second layer, we're going to add in white. So I'm going to push down rather hard. I'm going to have a heavy layer of white in the middle. All right, now my true green, I'm giving it a heavier pressure and disappearing into the white. My true green, I'm giving it a heavier pressure and disappearing into the white. Same with my grass green, giving it a heavier pressure and disappearing into the true green. Giving it a heavier pressure and disappearing into the true green. And then dark green along the outsides, dark green, and then indigo blue, indigo blue. All right, this time, in my third layer, my white is going to be a little bit wider, but still I don't want my white getting too far to the outside. All right. This time I'm going to skip the true green and go right to the grass green. And I'm pushing down really hard with this, and then I'm easing up off the pressure as I go towards the middle. I'm pushing down really hard with grass green and easing up off my pressure as I go towards the middle. All right, pushing down hard here, easing off my pressure as I come up here. And then I'm going to do another layer of white to help blend. All right, and there I have green from dark to light to dark again. All right, our next color is going to be blue-green. Now, because we don't have any kind of blue-green inside of the case of colored pencils, we're going to have to make our own. All right, here are the colors that we are going to need. Light cerulean blue, true green, we're going to need true blue, grass green, dark green, indigo blue, and white. All right. These make our light colors. These make our medium colors. And these make our dark colors. All right, our first layer is going to be light. Second layer, and light with no white. No white. And second layer is medium. And that's no color in the middle. No color in middle. And then our third layer is heavy. All right, and then the other thing I want you to know about blue-green is if it looks too blue, add green. And if it looks too green, add more blue. All right, so let's get our colors. All right, there's our light cerulean blue, and then there's our true green. And let's go our middle colors. There's the true blue and the grass green. And then there's our dark green, indigo blue, and white. All right. So, shall we begin? All right, let's zoom in so we can see what we're doing. Let's do a light cerulean blue over the whole thing. And I'm going to do a light layer of true green over the whole thing. So then I want to start looking at this. Is it too green or is it too blue? And blue-green should look like ocean water.
Sorry for the interruption. Would Mr. Moma please call the front desk? Mr. Moma, please call the front desk.
All right, there we go. And then coming in from the sides, I'm going to use my medium blue and green. Let's just keep it consistent. We'll start with blues. All right. My true blue, let it disappear into the middle. No, this is, yeah, it's true blue, right. And this is true blue. I'm going to use my grass green on top of that. And then to the sides, come in with my dark green to make that area kind of dark. I'm going to make this dark green, ease up off the pressure. And then my indigo blue, and ease up off the pressure. And indigo blue. And then I ease up off the pressure. All right, so I've done the first layer of all my colors, and now I'm going to come back and do the second layer, but I'm going to sharpen first. Yeah. All right. I will edit that out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay, I did some sharpening here, so now I'm going to do a heavy layer of white over the middle. White over the middle, and I can zoom in, and why did the color change? Huh, I bet. All right. Okay. And then I am no longer going to use the light colors. I'm only going to use the medium colors. So I'm going to come in with my true blue and ease up off the pressure. I'm pushing harder down here and easing up off the pressure as I come into here. And then my grass green on top of that. Easing up off the pressure. And do a little light layer of blue on top of that. I don't want it to look green. I don't want it to look blue. It's got to look like something in between. All right, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Heavy pressure, easing up off the pressure as I come in towards the middle. Heavier pressure on the outside, lighter pressure on the inside. Do the same thing with the grass green. Ease up off the pressure. And then dark green along the outside. Dark green. And then dark green. And then indigo blue. And then indigo blue. All right, and then I'm going to do white over a wider area. I'm pushing down real heavy with my white. Oops. All right. Pushing down real heavy with my white. True blue. I'm going to do a heavy pressure, and I ease up off the pressure as I go in. And I need to push down rather hard out here. And then the same thing with grass green. I don't want it to look blue. I don't want it to look green. It's got to look like something in between. Yeah. All right, do the same thing over here. I'm going to push down really hard with my true blue and ease up off the pressure as I come over here. Pushing down hard, easing up off the pressure. Grass green the same way, pushing down hard, easing up off the pressure. And then dark green on the outside. Dark green and indigo and indigo. All right, now I'm going to use white over a wider area. Use white over here. And all of this should look like ocean water, not Galveston water, like deep blue sea ocean water. All right, this will give me my blue-green. All right. And then I'm just going to add colors that I think I need to make belong, right? So there's pieces that are missing, but I'll add blues and greens and whites where I need them. All right, we are moving on. I'm going to move on to blue. All right, blue. And we're just basically going to need all the colors of blue. So we need light cerulean blue, true blue, indigo blue, and white. Easy peasy. All right. And with our layers, our first layer is going to be light. Our second layer is going to be medium. Our third layer is going to be heavy. Our first layer has no white. Our second layer has no color in the middle. All right, let's have some fun with blue. All right, I'm going to do a layer of light cerulean blue over the whole thing. Light cerulean blue. All right, then I'm going to come in with true blue from the outsides and disappear into the middle. True blue along the outside and disappear into the middle. And then my indigo blue. Ah, did you catch all that? All right, indigo blue. I'm so sorry, people. And then with our second layer, I'm going to do a heavy layer of blue in the middle. I mean, sorry, white. I'm pushing white in the middle. Heavy layer. All right, and then I'll come in with my light cerulean blue and ease up off the pressure as I go into the middle. Light cerulean blue and ease up off the pressure as I go into the middle. And true blue. I'm going to ease up off the pressure as I go into the middle. True blue and ease up off the pressure as I go into the middle. And then indigo blue is on the outside. Indigo blue on the outside. All right, now I'm going to do a heavy layer of white over a wider area. All right, now I'm going to skip light cerulean blue and just go for the true blue. I'm going to ease up off the true blue as I go towards the middle. Oh, I don't like how that turned out. Oh well. And true blue. And as I ease into the middle, I ease up off my pressure. Indigo blue is still on the outside, making things dark. Ease up off the pressure. Indigo blue along the outside, easing up off the pressure. All right, now a heavy layer of white over the middle parts and a little bit to the side. We want to keep our white in the middle. We don't want to go too far to the outside. All right, I'm going to push down heavy with my true blue and ease up off the pressure as I go in. Pushing down heavy with my true blue and easing up off the pressure. I don't want any of the paper underneath to show through. I'll come back in with my blue. I'm sorry, white. Why do I keep getting those mixed up? White. All right, and there is blue from dark to light to dark again. All right, we're going to move on to blue purple or blurple. Blue purple. All right, we're going to need light cerulean blue. We're going to need perma violet. We're going to need blue violet. We're going to need indigo, blue. Oh, that's terrible. All right. And we're going to need white. For our layers, first layer is going to be light with no white. Our second layer is going to be medium, no color in the middle. Our third layer is going to be heavy. All right, so light cerulean blue, perma violet, blue violet, indigo, and white. All right, I'm going to pause for a second to sharpen pencils. Okay, we're back and I have sharpened my pencils, so let's go ahead and go. All right, we got to mix our light blue purple. So let's zoom in. We're going to do a light layer of light cerulean blue. Light layer, light layer. I try to be light, 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 light. And we're going to do a light layer of perma violet right on top of it. Light layer of perma violet, perma violet, perma violet, perma violet. All right, and then we're going to do blue violet coming in from the outsides. I'm going to ease up off the pressure. I'm using a middle pressure over here And I'm going to ease up off the pressure as I go into the middle. I'm do a medium pressure and ease up off the pressure as I go in towards the middle. And then indigo blue to make things dark on the outsides. Indigo blue, making things dark on the outsides. All right, I'm going to put my light cerulean blue and permaviolet away, and I'm going to do a heavy layer of white in the middle. Heavy layer of white in the middle of all of this. And now I'm only going to use my, all right, heavy layer of white in the middle of all that. All right, I'm going to use my blue purple and ease into that white. Ease up on my pressure. And blue purple, ease up off the pressure as I go into the white. And indigo blue on the outsides. Indigo blue on the outsides. All right, now I'm going to do white, a heavy layer of white over a wider area. And now I'm going to do a heavy layer of blue purple and let it disappear into that white. Do a heavy layer of white. Blue purple, and ease into that white. And then indigo blue on the outsides. And slowly disappear. Indigo blue out here. All right, now I'm going to do white over a wider area. All right. And then that blue purple, I'm going to push down hard and then let it ease up as I go into the white. Pushing down hard. No more specks of white of the paper showing through. All right. Pushing down hard. No more specks of the white paper showing through. Easing up off my pressure. Easing up off my pressure. Slowly disappearing into the white. And then I'll use white again. And now I'm using a light pressure of white. I still want the sides to be dark. Heavy pressure of white. Now a light pressure of white. Heavy pressure of white in the middle. All right. So that give me a blue-green or a blue-purple. Yeah. Now this area right here where it's like darker and then it's like this edge right here, I don't really like that. So let's see what I can do. All right, there we go. All right. And it is 5 o'clock, and I think that is a good place for me to stop for this video. Okay, we're going to move on to purple now. So let's get ready for purple. Move this paper over. Purple. Now, the proper name for that is violet, but I like using the word purple better. All right, so the colors that we're going to be needing is perma violet, and violet, and indigo blue, and white. All right, and the first layer is going to be light with no white. The second layer is going to be medium, and it's going to have no color in the middle. And then the third layer is going to be heavy. All right, this is a pretty simple one, so this shouldn't take too long. All right, I'm going to start with my permaviolet. Let me go ahead and get my colors out. Permaviolet, white, violet, and indigo blue. All right, let's zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. Move this over. There we go. So I'm going to do a light layer of permaviolet over the whole thing. Light layer, just barely touching. And you can see that it's barely showing up on the camera. That's how light it is. All right. Fill in the whole thing. Be as nice and neat as you can. And then I'm going to use my violet or purple. And I'm going to come in from the outside using a heavier pressure and then easing off my pressure as I go towards the middle. All right, do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to ease up off the pressure as I go towards the middle. And I have discovered that we don't use indigo blue until the very end. So I'm going to hold off on that until later. So I'm going to come in with my white and do a heavy layer of white in the middle. Then I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to do a medium pressure of permaviolet and ease up off the pressure, and I'm not going to color inside the white. I'm going to ease up off the pressure, not color inside the white. And then I'll come in with my violet, pushing down hard, and then easing up off my pressure as I come in, pushing down hard, easing up off the pressure as I come in. And then I'll come back with my white, and I'm going to push down hard with my white over a wider area. Okay, I had to close the door because of bathroom sounds. All right, so white over a wider area, and then come back in here. And now I'm pushing really hard on my purple and easing up off the pressure as I come in, pushing down really hard on the outside, and then easing up off the pressure as I come in. And then I'll go into the very corners of this, make it look nice and neat. That's what I'm doing. All right, and then I'm going to do white over a wider area. So there we go. And now I'm going to finish this up. I'm pressing hard with my purple and easing up as I go in. easing up off the pressure as I go in. And then I'll blend it all with my white. I have my white kind of go out here and my white go out here. All right, and then my final thing that I'm going to do is just a little bit of indigo blue on the outsides, just kind of make things look dark. All right, and that is how we do purple. All right, the next one is going to be red purple. So let's move the camera back up here and let's get a new focus. I'm going to keep my indigo and I'm going to keep my white. I'm going to keep my purple. I'm going to add mulberry. All right, there's a color in here that's called mulberry, and that is basically red purple. And I'm going to add, let's see, crimson red. So, all right. So my colors for red purple, R-E-D-P-U-R-P-L-E. It is mulberry. And crimson red. I want to crim red. And it's going to be violet. And indigo blue. N-D-I-G-O-B-L-U-E. And white. All right, our first layer is going to be light with no white. Our second layer is going to be medium with no color in the middle. No color in middle. And our third layer is going to be heavy. All right, and this one is kind of straightforward too. So let's get started. We're going to start with the mulberry. We're going to do a very light layer of, let's zoom in so we can see what I'm doing. A very light layer, and let's refocus. A very light layer of mulberry all over, nice and even. Red, purple, and mulberry. Mulberry is a very beautiful color. It's kind of a weird name though. But it kind of, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like raspberry candy or raspberry sherbet. All right, done a light layer of mulberry. Dang it, did it again. All right. Got my Zoom still running, filming me. All right. Okay. Mulberry. Oh, and then also, all right, I'm going to do a light layer of mulberry, and then I'm also going to come in from the sides with a heavier layer of mulberry that disappears into the middle. Side, heavy layer of mulberry, and it disappears into the middle. All right. And then my red, I'm going to use my crimson red and crimson red just on the sides. They disappear into the middle. Crimson red. And now I'm going to push down hard in the middle. I'm not using my indigo yet. I'm going to use that last. So a heavy layer of white in the middle. And then I'm going to go back to my mulberry. I'm going to push down hard with my mulberry and ease up off the pressure as I come towards the middle. Easing up off the pressure. Going into the corners, making it all nice and neat. Easing off the pressure. All right, and then over here, pushing down hard on the mulberry. And as I go towards the middle, easing up off the pressure. Easing up off the pressure. Easing off the pressure. All right. And then with my red, all right, I'm going to push down hard with my red and ease up off the pressure. Push down hard with the red. This side's a lot bigger. All right. Easing off the pressure. Only go about half as far as I did with the mulberry. Same thing with the purple. Pushing down hard with the purple and easing off the pressure. Only going about half as far as the mulberry. Going into the corners, making it nice and neat. And then with my white, I'm going to do a heavy layer of white over a wider area. All right, heavy layer of white, heavy layer of white. And then come in with my mulberry. Now I'm going to push really hard for most of it and then ease up off the pressure as I go into the white. Pushing down hard, easing off the pressure. I'm pushing down hard over here and easing up off the pressure as I go into the white. All right, we are out of here at 11. Okay, I have time. All right. All right, and then I'll come back over all of this with my white. And there's some of this that looks a little bit stripy. I tried to avoid that. All right, so that, okay, and then with my indigo blue, just giving a little bit of darkness on the very far outsides. Make sure I'm blending in. Just a little bit on the very far outside, just to make things dark on the outside. And there is my red purple. Let's give it a little bit more of a blend over here. There's a bit stripy. I don't like stripy colors. Then I'll come over here with my mulberry and kind of blend it in a little bit. Blend it in over here. All right, so that should give me red purple. Okay, the next color that we're going to do is red. Let me get a sheet of paper. All right, red. All right, we're going to need pink, P-I-N-K, and then crimson red. And this time I'm going to add a little bit of poppy red. And then we're going to use Tuscan red and indigo blue. So over here, we're going to do, oh, and white. White. So the first layer is light with no white. Second layer is medium. All right, with no color in the middle. And our third layer is heavy. Oh, yeah, let's see, let's do this. All right, so let me get my colors. There's crimson, there's white, there's indigo. Let's put this other stuff away. There's my poppy red and Tuscan red. All right. Oh, and pink. I need pink. All right, so let's zoom in. And I'm going to do a light layer of pink over the whole thing. All right. Now, let me tell you something about the reds that are in the Prismacolor set. Right. The crimson red is a cool red, and the poppy red is a warm red. So in this instance, the crimson red is a little bit too cool, and the poppy red is a little bit too warm. So we're going to blend the two together to get a happy medium. So I'm using my crimson red, and I'm pushing down a little bit harder on the outside, easing up off the pressure as I go towards the middle. Pushing my pressure down hard on the outside and easing my pressure off as I go towards the middle. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the poppy red right on top of that. Pushing down hard with on the outside and easing up off the pressure. And hopefully this will give me like a nice candy apple red. I'm trying something new today. So I'm going to see what it looks like with crimson and poppy mixed together, and I think it's going to give me a good red. All right, to make things dark along the outside, I'm just going to add some Tuscan red, just a little bit, just to darken things up out here, not too much. And I am not going to use indigo yet. I'm going to hold off on indigo till the end. All right, so excuse me, I'm going to use my white in the middle. I'm going to push down hard. And I'm going to use pink again to ease into the white. The pink. Pushing down hard on the outside, easing up off my pressure as I come in toward the white. And then my crimson. I'm pushing down hard on the crimson and easing up off the pressure as I come into the white. Pushing down hard on the crimson and easing off my pressure as I come into the white. Same thing with the poppy. All right, pushing down hard out here, easing off the pressure as I go in there. Pushing down hard out here and easing off the pressure as I go in there. And then I'm going to come in with my white and I'm going to push down hard and I'm going to cover a bigger area. There we go. So I've covered from about here to here with my white. And I'm going to forego the pink and just come in with my crimson red and ease up off the pressure as I come in towards the white. Crimson red. And I'm going to ease up off the pressure as I come into the white. All right, and I like how that's looking, so I'm not going to do any more poppy red right now. All right, Tuscan red on the outside kind of makes things darker. And just a little bit of Tuscan red out here. A little rusty red. All right. And then I'm going to do white over most of it. And then I'm going to do heavy red and then ease into the white. I don't want any little spots of paper showing through my colors. So I'm going to push down really hard and then ease up off the pressure as I come in to here. And all right. And then I'm just, all right, so I'm close to finishing. So now I'm just going to do just a little bit of indigo on the outsides, just a little bit of indigo on the outside. And then I'll blend that in with my crimson. All right, and that's how we do red. All right, next will be red-orange. RED-ORANGE. How are we doing on time? All right. Then we got time for one more. All right, so let's do, I know we'll need poppy red. I'm going to do, and we'll do orange. We're going to add a little bit of yellow to this. And then we'll need our Tuscan red. We'll see if indigo will work for us. And do we want to use white with this? Yeah, let's go ahead and try white. All right, white. Okay. No, let's scratch the white. All right. So the first layer is light. There's no yellow. The second layer is medium. Third layer is heavy. And this is no yellow. And heavy, that's finish with heavy layer of yellow. Let's see what that does. All right. So red orange. Let's start with a light layer of orange. And I'm going to do a light layer of the poppy red. And then I'm going to come in from the sides with orange and poppy red at a heavier pressure. So I'm going to ease up and off my pressure in the middle. Ease up off the pressure as I go towards the middle. Same thing with my poppy red. I'm going to ease up off the pressure as I go towards the middle. And ease up off the pressure as I come towards the middle. You know what? I think I am going to want the white. I'm going to add white back in. And that's no yellow, no white. All right, and then I'm going to use some Tuscan on the outsides. Tuscan from the outside. And then I'm going to do the whole, let's do white in the middle. There we go. White in the middle. That looks awfully orangey. All right, so then I'll come in again from the outside with orange. And from the outside with orange. And from the outside with red. And from the outside with red. All right. And then Tuscan, make things dark out here. Just a little bit of Tuscan. Just a little bit of Tuscan. All right, I'm going to do white over a wider area. Yeah, this is looking good. All right, now I'm doing really heavy with the orange and easing up off the pressure as I go in the middle. Heavy layer of orange and easing up off the pressure as I go in towards the middle. Heavy layer of poppy red and easing up off the pressure as I go in towards the middle. And a heavy layer of poppy red and easing up off the pressure as I go in towards the middle. And then white, kind of blend it all together. I'm using white over most of it. I don't want the white going into the dark areas because I want to keep them dark and the middle light. So mixing them together kind of muddles things up. All right, and then Tuscan in the outsides, and then easing up immediately. And then finally, I'm just going to do a hint of indigo. Where did my indigo go? There it is. All right, just a little bit of indigo on here and a little bit of indigo here. All right, we're going to do red. No, red, orange. We're going to do orange. My bad. O-R-A-N-G-E. And we're going to need orange. We're going to need yellow. We're going to need Tuscan red. I think that's it. Poppy red. All right, our first layer is light. Our second layer is medium. Our third layer is heavy. All right, 5 minutes to go. We can do this. All right, I'm going to do a very light layer of orange over the whole thing. Orange, 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 orange. And then I'm also going to do a heavy layer of orange that disappears into the middle. A heavy layer of orange that disappears into the middle. Then I'm going to do poppy red, and I'm going to do it about half the distance of the orange. Poppy red, whoops, poppy red is about half the distance of the orange. And the Tuscan red is just on the outsides, just a little bit, just to make things dark out here. Tuscan red, just a little bit. All right, now my second layer I'm going to do it heavier with my orange in the middle. And I'm going to push really hard out here and ease up off the pressure as I go in towards the middle. Heavy pressure of orange. And I ease up off the pressure as I go in towards the middle. And with my poppy red, pushing down hard and easing up off the pressure over here. Easing up the pressure as I go into the middle. Poppy red is heavy on the outside. Ease up off the pressure as I go into the middle. And then Tuscan red is just on the outsides. Tuscan red is just on the outsides. And then I'm going to do orange over the whole thing. And then I'm going to do yellow over the whole thing. Give it a nice goldeny kind of color. And that helps to kind of blend as well. All right. So there's my orange. All right. We're going to do orange. And this time we're going to do orange with white. So I'm going to need orange. And I'm going to need poppy red. I'm going to need Tuscan red. And I'm going to need white. So, and once again, the first layer will be light with no white. The second layer is going to be medium. And no color in the middle. Just shut the door and I get bathroom sounds. And on my third layer, it's going to be heavy. All right, so let's get this party started and start with a very light layer of orange. All right. You know what? I'm going to sharpen this. All right, let's try this again. All right, it's going to be a light layer of orange over the whole thing. Light layer. Light layer. Light layer. And then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to use orange again, but this time I'm going to come in from the sides with a heavier pressure and then ease up off the pressure as I go in towards the middle. And I'm going to ease up off the pressure as I go in towards the middle. And then I'm going to use my poppy red to do the same thing, but only half the distance. Poppy red, same thing, but only half the distance, just a little bit. And then the Tuscan red, just kind of make things dark out here. And a slow change from dark to light, no striping. Don't want to see any stripes on this. All right, now with using white, I'm going to use a heavy layer of white in the middle of all of this. I'm pushing down heavy with my white. And then I'm going to come back in with my orange, and I'm pushing down heavy with my orange, and then easing up off the pressure as I go in towards the white. And make things look nice and neat. A heavy pressure of orange, and then I ease up off the pressure as I go in towards the middle. And then I go back and make things look nice and neat. And then I use poppy red. And same thing, but I'm only half the distance. Poppy red and pushing down hard and then easing up off the pressure. And then Tuscan red is just making things look dark on the outsides. Tuscan red, there we go. All right. And then I'm going to use a heavier pressure over more of it. A wider area of white. Now I'm going to use a heavy pressure of orange and easing up off the pressure as I go in the middle. Heavy pressure, easing off the pressure. And then heavy pressure of orange and then easing off the pressure as I go into the white. And then I'm going to come back in with my white over most of it. And that should give me a good, all right. So when you do orange, you have an option between these two. All right, you can do orange using white, or you can do orange using yellow. All right, and I think that'll be it. Next, we are going to do yellow orange. So, we get another sheet of paper. Yellow orange, and we will basically just need the same colors. All right, so we're going to need yellow, orange, poppy red, Tuscan red. All right, let's do a light layer. So I'm going to zoom in. And I don't want to use Tuscan red. So I'm going to do a light layer of yellow orange. Light layer, light layer, light layer, light layer, light layer, light layer. And this is what's going to make it different than last time, is I'm going to do, excuse me, a light layer of orange over the whole thing. Light layer of orange over the whole thing. All right, and then I'm going to come in with my poppy red. Poppy red will come in from the outside, and this is going to be like the orange from last time. And I'm going to ease up off the pressure and let it disappear into the middle. So I've only done poppy red from here to here. Excuse me. All right, I do poppy red and ease up off the pressure as I come into the middle. Do some poppy red down here. Do some poppy red up here. And I'm going to do Tuscan red. I'm going to make it a little bit more pronounced than last time. I guess you wouldn't know about last time. Oh, maybe that was a bit too much. All right, now watch carefully because I'm going to make some changes here. I'm going to do a heavier layer of yellow over the whole thing. All right, this time the orange is not going to go all the way over. I'm just going to do orange is kind of disappear just like it did with the yellow. And I'm going to do a heavier layer of orange and let it disappear into there. Oh, and we're on the second layer. All right. And then all right, orange does not go to the middle. All right. And then the Spanish or the poppy red. And the poppy red. And then the Tuscan red. Tuscan red is just on the outside edges. All right, before I do my last layer, let's do a light layer of orange over the whole thing, just very lightly. All right. All right, on third layer, we're doing a light layer of orange, heavy, yellow. All right, so that's good. So I'll do my final layer with the yellow. Heavy, I'm pushing down really hard with my yellow over the whole thing. Heavy on the yellow, heavy, yellow. All right, so let's see if we can compare it. All right, can you see that it's a shade darker than yellow? I might even do just another light layer of yellow to taste, or light layer of orange. Just, all right, can you see the difference between the yellow orange and the orange, or the yellow? Yellow, orange, yellow, all right. All right, and then just going to do a little bit of Tuscan red on the ends, and I think we've got it. All right, there's yellow orange. All right, that's it for today. And until next time, be a little art factory.